Ya, Anda masih menyaksikan Economics dan saat ini saya bersama dengan Country Director ADB for Indonesia, Vini. Mr. Vini, let's talk about the collaboration between ADBs in Indonesia that has been 56 years, I guess, right, in Indonesia. And then ADB's president, Mr. Nakao, met President Joko Widodo in Bangkok last June, and they agreed for some numbers and for some collaboration. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, so maybe just for starters, Indonesia is a founding member when ADB was established in 1966. Indonesia was one of the founding members, and in fact has been now is our fifth largest shareholder. So and over the 53 years of partnership, the third largest recipient of ADB assistance. Of all recipient countries of ADB's assistance. So what I'm trying to say is Indonesia is a very, very important part of ADB. It's an owner of ADB, and in that way, we very much feel like Indonesia's development bank. So as given the importance of this partnership, therefore, our president, Mr. Nakao, meets the Indonesian president, President Widodo, quite regularly, once a year on average, and so they met the last time they met in June in Bangkok, as you mentioned, at the on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit, and they of course ADB president congratulated re-elections and so forth, but they also discussed some of the priorities of the new. The second term of President Widodo, and along the lines that we then later heard in the policy speeches that were published, President Widodo briefed our president on his focus on infrastructure, human capital development, investment, resilience related, and our president, Mr. Nakao, very much welcomed that and basically committed ADB's full support at a high level, as we are already now, 2 billion roughly lending a year, plus technical assistance.
In 2019, over 2 billion?
Per year,
okay.
Per year, both to public and private sectors.
Okay.
But we, we could also, we'd be happy to do more in Indonesia, because we very much see a big future for Indonesia and very optimistic about the future. They also talked about the macroeconomic issues, fiscal issues, fiscal management, and again our president, who is very much an expert on those in those areas, very much was very impressed by the Indonesian government's very sound management of fiscal and macroeconomic.
Yeah, but is there any commitment from the meeting? Like maybe numbers or
commitment,
projects, new projects?
Commitment that ADB stands ready to support the re-elected government in its priority areas. The new development plan is being developed by the government, and once it comes out, we will align our new country strategy to the Indonesian development plan, and certainly we will have a very strong focus on infrastructure, human capital development, resilience both in terms of resilience on the macro and fiscal management side, but also very importantly on the in terms of disaster risk management in light of climate change impact and increasing numbers of natural hazards happening here.
Okay, so you're saying that it's a huge potential that the loan numbers from ADB to Indonesia, everyone will be increasing dramatically?
It may well be. No, not dramatically, but we are growing organically.
Okay.
And there is an absorptive capacity on both sides, and but we are well established. You've seen around in our offices today. You've been around here. We have a strong office. We have very strong staff, both Indonesian and international, and we stand ready to support the government through all our modalities of support. We are not only development finance provider. We are also providing knowledge solutions, technical assistance, capacity building, studies, analytical studies, project preparation, etc. So yeah, no, you can expect us to be very busy and very happily busy in the coming years.
All right. Okay. Talking about commitment, ADB is committed to fund $800 million for the after disaster in in Central Sulawesi and also Lombok. Can you update about what kind of projects that has been done or is going right now?
Yeah. So that was a horrible disaster. I was personally, I must say, affected. I went shortly after the disaster happened in very early October. I went to visit and was very much very personally affected, shocked by the loss and tragedy that happened there to the people. So ADB and our president happened to be here at that time also at the Bali meetings.
Yeah.
Again, met with President Widodo, and our president committed full support. We immediately made available in the relief phase financial support, but also experts, technical assistance in the assessment of the damage and preparation of the recovery and the reconstruction phase. We then very quickly, also within a month, in November, we approved a large, quick dispersing loan, $500 million, to support the Ministry of Finance, essentially to cover the additional expenditure incurred from the disaster response. And then just quite recently in June, we finally approved our last larger package of $300 million for reconstruction, rehabilitation of damaged infrastructure. That's the business that we are in, that we're good at. We're working very closely. Obviously, we're led by the government, working closely with other international partners. Our focus is on the airport, rehabilitation of the airport.
Okay.
The three main ports in the area around Palu, and the water supply system from the irrigation areas where which is totally destroyed, and where farmers don't have access to irrigation, down to this water supply into the city, which was destroyed, and a lot of relocations happening. So we need to reconnect the water supply as it comes from the source.
So those projects are still going on right now?
No, it's just approved. Now it's being prepared, procurement, etc. But another last area that we are involved in Palu is the Islamic University, one of the two big Islamic universities that we are also helping reconstruct so that the students can safely study there again, and not only safely study there again now, but also build back better. So that it's resilient vis-a-vis possible future disasters. So we are very busy right now in Palu and supporting the Ministry of Transport and Ministry of Public Works and Housing in those areas.
Alright, thank you. Oke, after jeda kami akan kembali dengan pembahasan lebih banyak apalagi proyek-proyek yang bisa dilakukan ADB di Indonesia untuk sisa tahun 2019 dan juga di tahun-tahun berikutnya. Tetaplah bersama kami.
To be very busy and have even more focus on or go deeper into infrastructure sectors, but also increasingly work on the area of skills and education. We are working there, but we want to do more.